For that reason it's kept out. Not because the word is bad. There are so many words which we use in common speech, but for certain reasons we eschew certain words, like the word comrade. You know what is comrade? A friend, a companion. What's wrong with the word? Beautiful word. But we will not use it. Most especially in America, I think people are more terrified of the word comrade than here, I think. You know, you people are a bit more broad-minded, the British are. Comrade. What's wrong with the word comrade? Nothing wrong with it. But as soon as you say comrade, in the mind of the hearer he thinks you are a communist. Association. By association. So by association the word is contaminated. By itself the word is beautiful. Comrade. By itself the word father is beautiful. But by association with other ideas, where in this environment, the Christian is always talking about the Father in heaven, yes. He says, Jesus is son, yes. But they say, you see, this Jesus is not a son like any one of God's creatures. No, no. He is the begotten Son. You see, in the catechism, the Anglican catechism, it says, Jesus is the only begotten Son, begotten, not made. He is the begotten Son, don't make a mistake. Not like Adam. Adam was made by God. Every dog, pig and donkey was made by God. As such, metaphorically, he is the father of everything. He is the creator, cherisher, sustainer, father of everything. But the Christians say, no, not like that. Jesus was begotten, not made. See the association now. So Allah Bari Ta'ala, He says He does not beget. وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا. And they say that Ar-Rahman, the merciful God, has begotten a son. So He says, لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا عِدًّا. It's one of the most abominable assertion one can make. The worst swearing you can give Allah is this. To say that Allah begot a son. So the association now. Jesus is the only begotten Son. Allah says, Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He does not beget and is not begotten. The other one says he's begotten, not made. He wants you not to make a mistake, to think that He made Jesus like anybody else by His act of will. No, He begot. So by association now, that word is contaminated. Therefore, Allah made us to eschew that word. Keep away from using that word. Because there are people in the world, of course the philosophers say he knows it doesn't mean that. I say, I know it doesn't mean that. But there will be millions who will be misunderstanding this term and expression. So says, keep away from it. Keep that word out of the book. Is this miracle, one of these little miracles of this book, the Quran. Now, I read this verse to you from Surah Maryam. If you have a Quran at home, I would like you to go and check it up. And it's a very good habit. Whoever talks to you, lectures to you, and if he gives you a reference, make a note of that reference and check it up. Because by checking it up, your knowledge increases, and what you have heard becomes your permanent property. Otherwise, it's a good entertainment. I know we all like to be entertained. We're listening to lectures, we laugh, we joke, and we go away. It's a fantastic lecturer, like this and like that, and it's gone. But if you delve a little deeper into what the man has said, most especially with the references, and when you're checking it up a second time, whatever was said becomes a permanent fixture in your computer. And from there on, you can pass it on, and it becomes firmer and firmer in your mind. So where will you find it? I said Surah Maryam. And in the ordinary Quran that we used to read, the Arabic Quran, we call it Mushaf. I know as a child I've been reading through the Arabic Quran, Mushaf. And it was very difficult for me, or my people, to find. Somebody says it's Surah Maryam. Where are you going to find Surah Maryam? We might get used to Yasin Sharif, everybody says somebody is dying, you read Yasin, and occasionally Yasin, blessing. So we know where Yasin is. But the rest of the Quran, generally, the non-Arab Muslim, he can't put his finger on. That was my difficulty, and that's the difficulty of my people. When I tell them Surah Maryam, they can't find it. So we are at an advantage today, most especially in the West, that there is a Quran available. This one here by Abdullah Yusuf Ali. Abdullah Yusuf Ali. It's a monumental work. Around the 30s, this man from the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent, he had done this job. It took him 40 years to do this job. 40 years of his life he spent. And his language, his English, is so beautiful that a lot of English people, when they read it, they can't believe that an Oriental could have done this work. And you do not have to study Shakespeare or Milton to improve your English or your children's English. Consult this book. For English, the language, you don't have to read Shakespeare and Milton to improve it. Read this. This book has another big advantage in that at the end of this volume, there is a very comprehensive index. What do you want to know? Anything you want to know on your fingertips. You want to know about marriage and the M, you'll find marriage. 14 different topics under marriage, under that heading. What do you want to know? Divorce and the D, find divorce. Don't just go around and say talaq, talaq, talaq. Consult the book. Consult the book. Allah tells you. He revealed a whole surah. For salat, he didn't give us details. He said, look at the Prophet. For wudu, he didn't give us details. He said, look at the Prophet. For sawm, he didn't give us details. He said, look at the Prophet. Watch him, see him, what he tells you, you do. But for talaq, he wouldn't tell us, look at the Prophet. No. Which means he would have to divorce one of our mothers to show us how to divorce. So he goes out of his way to reveal a surah called Surah Talaq, divorce. But who knows about it? My people, I know. When the wife puts too much salt in the curry, or the samosas are too hot. So he tells his wife, he says, my mother used to make better samosas than these. So he says, why don't you marry your mother? So he says, talaq, talaq, talaq. Finish. Yeah, that's my people. I don't know about the Arabs, I don't know how they do it. But I know the Indian Muslims in my country, that's how we do. You get angry, easy way out. Easier than eating peanuts. You have to shell them. This you don't have to shell. Talaq, talaq, talaq. Job is done. I said, look, Allah Ta'ala is giving you. He's taking the trouble. Whole chapter. But nobody seems to have read it. Nobody seems to have read it. So I said, open up. And the talaq, divorce, it tells you how to do the job. You won't regret if you did it the way Allah wants you to do. You won't have to do that thing called halalu. Halalu, I don't know whether you people know what halalu is. My people know it, you see. In South Africa. So, what you want to know? Surah Maryam, the brother said Maryam. So under M, you find Maryam in italics. Every time a word occurs in the index in the italics, you know it is the name of a surah. You see Maryam, it says 19. So right, open chapter 19. I said verse 93, now it's easy to find 93. You see? So easy. Wallah, everything on your fingertips. And this book is readily available. I took the trouble before leaving South Africa. I sent down 2,000 of these. Deluxe editions. Printed in Hong Kong. Wallah, printed in Hong Kong. Imported into South Africa and exported to London. And in South Africa, I give people money back guarantee. I says, you have 90 days, 3 months. You keep the book, you read the book, and you return it. Your money will be refunded to you in full, plus R1 extra for your trouble. That's the type of business I do. And alhamdulillah, I'm very successful. Otherwise I won't be here. I'm successful. Right. So you see, this ayah in Surah Maryam, it was preceded by those other words, where Allah says, وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا. They say that Ar-Rahman, the merciful God, has begotten a son. So Allah reacts. So لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا عِدًّا. It's one of the most abominable assertions one can make. So تَكَادُ السَّمَاوَاتُ يَتَفَطَّرْنَ مِنْهُ. And the skies are ready to burst. وَتَنْشَقَّ الْأَرْضُ. And the earth to split asunder. وَتَخِرُّ الْجِبَالُ حَدًّا. And the mountains to fall down in utter ruin. Such a horrible swearing they're giving Allah. This is it. Father and son relationship. Such a horrible swearing. That if the heavens had a feeling like you, emotions like you, the heavens would have fallen. And the earth would have split asunder, and the mountains fall down in utter ruin. But nothing happens to the Muslims. You know, it's an amazing situation that Allah Ta'ala reacts in the strongest language that you can imagine. That if you want to swear me, if you want to abuse me, you can't abuse me anything worse than this, to say that I begot a son. Allah begot a son, because begetting is an animal act. It belongs to the lower animal functions of sex. I'm asking the Englishman again and again. When I read his catechism, an Anglican, Christian, I said, excuse me sir, tell me now,